We're ready.
Yeah, of course. Can we show this to the... Ta-da! Okay. Let's start. Business bar process. Business bar process.
Start.
Yes, of course.
No, già non sappiamo cosa era lei.
Hello.
Is it with a 5? No, it's different.
Ok.
Good morning. We are Rossella and Salvatore, and
Our work.
our work is the business bar process. The subject of this oral presentation is the workflow management analysis. And in our presentation, there are two main sections. The first section concerns the workflow management system, and the second section concerns the business bar process. Now I give the floor to my colleague Salvatore.
Good morning. I would talk about the management business system. And first of all, I think it's important define the term business process. In this context, we use the business process as a synonym of workflow. In fact, business process and workflow they aren't a new subject, but I will analyze this concept in a new perspective, the perspective of computing, and this calmo.
Don't worry.
And first organize and then computerize. This is the golden rule that describes the workflow management system. In fact, this rule explains that the people first organize the workflow and then consider if the workflow support the informatic system. And to use this system, we need develop generic packages software that analyze the workflow and create the workflow. To create the workflow, we use an informatic tool, YAWL. It is open source tool and can possible download to internet in way free. With this tool, we first create the workflow and then analyze the workflow. For example, download the log. The log is a register of activity of each worker. And then Rossella explain our business bar process with YAWL.
First of all, we created the model. As you can see in this model, there are the tasks. And the tasks that compose the model are customers entering a bar, then a waiter gives a menu to customers, and then picks up the order and sends it to the bar. The barman makes the order, and in the order could be different products like coffees, drinks, ice creams, cakes, etc. Then a waiter serves the order, and at the end the customers can pay. In our business process, there are only human resources. that have only one a particular work because who gives the menu doesn't makes the order, or who serves the order doesn't picks up it. In addition, in our model, the employees follow a strategy. The best strategy that we chose is who receive the customers is the same whether who gives the menu, picks up the order, menu picks up the order and sends it to bar. The barman who make the order is are composed by who makes drink, who makes coffee, and who make and who prepare ice creams. And this strategy that we chose is the strategy that follow to have an efficient organization, because the jobs don't place oneself above, and in conclusion, our business bar process is the process that we can propose to employers who would to invest in an efficient organization. So our presentation is finished, and we are happy to answer your questions.
Just a question. Okay, before getting to this model as the best one, how many others did you experiment? Did you any other processes? I mean, did you analyze different processes and then choose the best one, the most efficient one?
Yes,
or
we design a model in abstract way. We see that what we see what are the local the components of law. And then we in fact the golden rule then first organize and then computerize, associate the informatic system at the workflow.
Okay, but how many ideas, how many models did you have before getting to this one, the final one? Was it easy? Was it difficult? Did you have to work a lot?
Many
Easy?
Sì.
Okay, so it's not probably because it's in a simple process. Okay, maybe
yes.
in a bigger process it could
No,
be a
no.
little bit more difficult.
Yes.
Okay, and you use a tool, a software.
Yes, YAL is a software that we use to create the model, and
So it already suggests the models you could use, right?
yes, and in with this software we can create the model, and we can define the rules, the employees who work in the model, and choose the strategy.
Alright. So it's a good tool, let's say.
Yes.
Gives ideas.
In fact, we used this informatic tool to assign the roles, but to reduce the people's workload.
Okay. And be efficient.
Yes.
How can the people's workload can be reduced?
For example, he who gives menu don't make coffee.
Okay, so it's general. It's an organization.
Organization.
Thank you. Can we get to your project,
Okay.
Antonina?
And
And
No, they have a
Single
separate
project.
okay, okay. So it's second part. Is it the second?
No,
Ah, it's a single. Okay.
Because
Gabriele Mauri, so
doesn't pass.
Do you have a PowerPoint presentation?
post
Yo,
it.
la, la. Can we? Maybe you can start, and while Antonino gets
Qual è questo che
ready.
ho scritto in there?
No. First it's an
You want Antonino first? Okay.
Yeah.
He thinks the mouse the best. That's why. Okay.
Good evening.
We don't have one here. Okay, Antonino.
Uh,
You're right. Yes, now I remember. Okay.
I will.
No, outside. We don't have one here. I'm sorry.
I will present my
Project?
my project. It involves Juventus, Italian sport club, in particular of soccer. And I choose to spoke about Juventus because I was a supporter from when I was a child. In particular, I will speak about the history of Juventus. It was established in 1897 and it is based in Turin. It was founded by a group of students. In particular of classical. They studied at classical institute. In fact, they gave the name of Juventus because in Latin, Juventus means youth, and in general, we can say that Juventus is the most famous football club in Italy and one of the most in Europe. About the logo, we can see the different transformation since 1905 to 2004. In 24 was elaborated the last logo, but in the last few years, Juventus has started a new strategy, a rebranding strategy. In particular, this operation is a general operation that opens to a future market. In particular, Juventus has embraced the dynamics of the modern game beyond the general aspect of the third, and the club has adopted a new visual identification. A new visual identification with the new logo, and this will allow the club to sustain its sporting and commercial and cultural development as
Era solo un link che non riesco a capire che cosa Sorry.
Juventus will allow the club to sustain its sporting, cultural and commercial development. For example, in the Juventus Stadium there are many commercial points. But
you
okay.
want to rebrand. You
The
thought
new
about
logo.
a new logo.
New logo.
Okay, let's get it.
This is the new logo.
That you invented?
No,
Or it exists?
no, exists by from January.
Lui
But
January.
since January,
c'era.
but but from July the logo will enter in all aspects of the society. I reported
Is this the new logo that they are preparing or that you have prepared?
no, they
Linda?
prepared
Ah, okay.
since January.
Do you like it?
Yes.
Why?
Why?
You'll tell me.
Okay.
Okay.
I reported a Gian Agnelli what said Gian Agnelli, the historical president of Juventus. I get excited every time I see a word beginning with J in the papers.
Why? It's a J or it's a Y? It's a J.
J.
Of course, it's a J.
In the papers.
Ah, I see. Yeah. Okay.
The new logo, its composition is the logo is composed from the logo is the composition of three elements.
That's right.
The first is the scudetto, symbol of the victory. The second one is the white, black and white stripes. That because these stripes is we can see the stripes on the sporty jersey of Juventus, in particular on the shirt, on the t-shirt. And the third element is the first letter of the name, J. And
If you see it this way.
Yes, absolutely.
there are the
Do you think they have a designer? for the
Yes.
font?
there are 5 reasons that involved in this decision. The first is the identity.
Identity. Okay.
Because throughout the J, we can think we can just think the Juventus as the apple for the apple.
That's right.
And the second one is the simplicity, because this logo go beyond the traditional logo. The complicated, the historical logo. It is innovative. It is innovative, and break with the tradition. All the all the logos of the other soccer club, also Italian, they have a tradition. Also the previous of this logo of Juventus, that logo had a tradition because considered the stars that symbols that are the symbols of the of 10 scudetti. Every 10 scudetti
Every 10 Scudetti
is a star,
is a star.
and there are 2 kind of stars.
Stars.
Juventus 3, and there are 2 kind of stars. A gold star that it's for the scudetto, while a silver star is for the Coppa Italia. Every 10 Coppa Italia there is a silver star. Every 10 scudetti there is a gold star. In particular, this logo had a new business background. Because at the moment the sports club there isn't only a sport club. It isn't only a sport club, but they starting to sell a product as the kit, the everything they produce.
And then advertising on social media?
And in particular, Juventus, when he decided to do this presentation, he had an advertisement. Because for Juventus it was most important to say at the follower to follow the presentation. So in this moment it's very important to football club to advertise every event they organize.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Organize.
Next.
And the next, there was a reaction from experts of marketing.
In favor or against?
In favor.
Why?
Why? For the expert, the logo it's truly that isn't a traditional logo, but what matters in business world is the result that an operation could produce. In fact, Juventus, as we know, Juventus has launched this logo for the Asian market, in particular for the Chinese market, because in this moment the Chinese market is very
Developing.
yeah. In fact, society has in Italy society has Inter and
Do you
Milan.
like this aspect or don't you like this
I
aspect?
like the
Paying
aspect
attention.
for Juventus
But no.
because the market is very in this moment there is a big market.
Mhm.
I don't like the choose that Inter it was sell at the Chinese group.
Oh.
Yes, and before Thailand group.
That's too bad.
I don't like it.
Thank you. Thank you, Antonino. Pretty dense.
Yeah.
Dense. Pasquale! Is that your turn? The wrong name?
Good afternoon,
Oh,
teachers.
Good afternoon. What do you have with you? You have the post-it. Good
Thanks for
morning.
your attention.
Thank you. Thank you, Antonino. Okay.
Sì.
You need it? We thought that you were not going to use, so you were not going to use the PowerPoint presentation. You know, he's using Google.
Yes. Spell memory. Okay.
Bello, non avevo visto la suddivisione dello scudetto. Bello.
Oh, what's happening here? Hello. Can we show the people over there as well? Okay. Notepad.
Ah, okay.
Allora, my name is Giovanni Pasquale and I'm responsible of research and development department of Lenovo.
Ah.
Today,
Welcome to the class.
today present a new product of Lenovo. Lenovo is a